Hey, what's up followers? Dave here from CNC3D. So in this video today, we're going to be taking a look at our CNC3D Design Suite software and some of the latest features that have been added in today's release, which has just been released about 15 minutes ago. For those of you that don't know, this project is basically a free CAD/CAM program. It is the best possible program that I'm trying to make, basically, for all of you out there. I'm trying to encourage all of you to be extremely creative and make amazing things. CNC3D Toolpath Suite basically supports laser, plasma, pen plotting, or router-based jobs. So look, if you guys want to watch the full video, click on this video tutorial button. Today, we're just going to be talking about some of the latest stuff that has been added into this release. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to load an existing project here that I was using basically just to stress test the router engine that we have. So let's first of all take a look. You notice on the side here there's a design view button, which is currently blue, and then there's a 3D job view next to it. So basically this is a 3D visualizer of your job and how it should actually come out and look. And so what I've essentially done is, a few of you have asked for this. You can obviously choose to move through with the job as it travels along. You can see that it's going to remove sections. You can hold down on here as well. Look, this can be a little bit slow depending on your PC's processing power. So if you go up the top here to options and go into cutting view, you can choose to adjust your resolution. I have mine currently set to ultra. The default will be medium, but it will make it a lot more responsive for you as well. And at the end of the day, it's really just for you guys to try to get a visual representation of exactly what's going on. So basically that's sort of what it's trying to do. And what it does is it actually, when you're in design mode and you flick into this mode, it actually runs the toolpath on here. So for example, if you look closely, we've got ramping enabled on all of these shapes. You can actually see the 30-degree ramp that we've added in there. And that was its entryway into that particular toolpath. So it allows you guys to actually have a very in-depth look at this, and for you to be able to, see exactly what your job's going to do. Now, this particular job is actually a whole bunch of shapes all layered together, and the whole point was to really stress test this system. So what I'm trying to do is, when you guys are in this particular view, and this is specific to router, what you see here is what you get. And obviously the darker the shapes are on here, they're going to be at different layers, but you can also see the order with which they are overlaid. And so, for example, like this is going to be a really shallow one. If we go to toolpath here, so we can see it's only 1.8 mil. This one here is actually, so I'll just click on this shape here. This one here is, 3 mil in total. This main one at the back here is, 9.2. So it's obviously the deepest, and so forth. And so my objective was to try to make this exactly what you guys can see is exactly what you guys are going to get in here, to the exact depth that you requested it. So, for example, this shape here will maintain its height based on the order that it's actually in, whether it's adding or removing from there in order to create the exact pattern. That was a mouthful. Let's jump straight back in here and take a look at a couple of the other features as well. I'm going to select this here because this is a really good example. This is basically a pocket. This is a profile cut, not a pocket. So if we, obviously the toolpath tab here, I'm going to ask this to go to the full depth here. So whatever it is, and you can see that we have tabs. Now previously on the right hand side, the tabs, you had to specify the count. You still can choose to do that. Like you can drag out a few more and you can see it'll place them on there evenly. But what you can actually do now is you can drag these around anywhere that you would like on this particular shape. So let's make things a little bit more complicated. Let's just get back to here, and we can return our shape out of the way. I'm going to use the flange tool here because this is a really good example. So we've just created this default flange. Let's change its type to be, let's cut outside the shape path. Okay, so our tool is a little bit too big for those inner holes. So let's just change this to a 2 mil cutter. Okay, that's going to be much better, because any part that the tool can't fit into, it just simply won't even try. So obviously, if we're going to cut this full depth, I'm going to drag this to full depth, and we can see at the top here, our stock is 600 by 600 by 10 mil. So basically, you might want to have tabs on all of these points. Now, it would have been so cumbersome for you to just, you can obviously drag this from here to here. You can drag these around, you can add points. What you can do now is you can hold the Alt key and you can double click on any point on here and it will simply add a tab in there for you to the size of your current tabs that you've requested. So this should make things a lot easier for you guys. Of course, if you make a mistake and you only wanted 4 here, you can select any one you want, hold Alt and double click, and it will remove the tab for you. And of course, you can also drag these around. So this is something I've added in there that a few of you have requested to try to make things nice and easy. So that has now been resolved. So in router mode, that's now basically fixed for you guys, and I hope it's a really helpful feature. Okay, there are a couple other things to cover. Okay, great. So we have a random shape here. So let's take a look at some of the other tools. So there's a new tool over here which is called the Distort tool. And the purpose of this tool is if you click on it, you have a shape selected. It'll create this line here. And what you can do is you can obviously drag these dots up and down and actually adjust this shape. I'm just going to go into Properties tab just to hide those tabs. And you can obviously move these around however you'd like. Now you can Control Z and we can get back to normal. I moved it a couple of times. You can also double click anywhere you want on this line and add another one. So for example, we can kind of make this look like a love heart now. Or if you want to, you can just double click again and it will remove it. So yeah, any of these can move. So where it looks very cool, and there was one particular user that gave me the inspiration for this, was he wanted to be able to have text. That's the other thing as well too. There's some new buttons at the top here. The labels are currently incorrect. I'll be fixing that in the next release for you guys when you hover over there. But basically this button here, that's your cancel button at the top there. And then the button that's just above the mouse here, that is how you actually commit things. So if you're not happy with what you've done, so you've been, moving these things around on here. By the way, you can also move these green points on the end as well. Basically, I've tried to make this tool as open-ended as possible for you guys to get, creative and being able to easily manipulate your shapes and stuff like that. I can add more. You can actually add as many as you want. I've made it fairly open-minded. Keep in mind, things start going a bit skew-if after a while. If you've got too many or you don't like what you've done, you can Control Z to undo, to take yourself back pretty much to where you were. And obviously, if you want to revert, you can go Control Y and yeah, you can take it all the way back out to where it was. And if you absolutely just want to cancel completely, hit the X at the top, your shape will come back to normal. Obviously, if you go in here, let's just put some text down because this has been the real fun one that a lot of people have kind of wanted here. So we've got our little, I'm just gonna delete our flange here for now. We'll just put that there. So we can do the same thing with this text. So this has been requested. We'll click on our tool. And some people have just wanted to be able to do something like this, just make it look kind of fancy, be able to adjust it in and out. And if you're happy with it, you can just hit the commit button and you're good to go. Now let's just take a look and see how that's actually going to come out. So if we have a look, there it is at the top here. It's pretty deep. It's pretty much knocked the artifacts off there. Actually, let's go back here. No, it's still in there for the E. Let's make it a bit bigger and see how that goes instead. I think that might help us a bit. But also, how deep is that? Let's go in the toolpath tab here. What do we got? It's full depth. So yeah, we can make it a bit shallower there. We'll make it say 3 mil. Whoops. Make it 3 mil in there. And let's see how that looks now for us. That's a little bit better. We can actually see all the bits. So keep in mind, certain areas it's not going to try to fit a tool into if it physically can't, although sometimes it may try to and it will knock it off. So just be careful. Make sure the visualizer is right, guys. Like I said, I'm constantly working on improving this. We've come a long way from the first few releases of this. So definitely have some fun with it and obviously give me feedback as you go. Let's also take a look now. So that's the Distort tool. Let's also take a look now at the rubber band tool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple of ellipses down on our canvas here. I'm actually going to switch here to laser mode just to make things a little bit easier for us. And I'll go in the Properties tab. So I'm going to try to make these so that they are actual circles. So I'm going to go 40 mil by 40 mil. So I'm going to try to make something like a connecting rod. So I'm going to, first of all, copy and paste the shape. Now, you can, by the way, in this particular release, you can hold the Alt key on any of these drag handles and it will adjust from the center outwards. however you'd like. Obviously, it is a freehand drag, so it's not the same as if you were to, oops, I just moved that back there. It's not the same as if you were to click in the middle here and then you can size outwards. So I'll make that say 80 mil. So some of you may not even know that this particular location value works for both the positioning and also the size and the width. So now that we got both of these, what I'm going to do is I'm going to center them. So on the left-hand side here, you've got a whole bunch of these tools here. So we're going to choose the one we're going to align the shapes vertically. That aligns the centers vertically. Now we're just going to click on the rubber band tool, and you can see that it's put a line around here. And so basically that the rubber band tool will tightly hug any shapes that you have. And then if you were to use the Alt key now and drag this corner, you can basically make it exactly like a conrod. So that's been a handy little feature that's been requested. Look, I'm constantly adding new stuff in here, and your feedback's really important, guys. Let's just jump in here and see how this looks now, because this should be in laser mode. Oh, sorry, I forgot to actually give it a toolpath. So let's click on our path here. We'll go into the toolpath tab. Let's just do a border engraving on there, and let's see now. If we go in here, how that actually will look if we do it. So you can still do the tool overlay in here for a quick view, but if you want to actually see how it goes, the visualizer will change into laser mode to show you basically how the overall job will come out. So that also includes if you're doing a laser image engraving, it'll try to give you like a grayscale representation in here of how that looks. So that's pretty much it in this particular release, guys. I've actually been working very hard behind the scenes to make all of these things happen for you. I really hope you guys are enjoying using CNC3D Design Suite, and look, I'm going to continue to make it better. So give me any feedback as you go, guys. Enjoy and have a great day.